Welcome to Spirituelle Sunday, where women of the world meet. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, women from around the world unite for communion with true wisdom, soul purpose, and deep destiny. Watch us on most channels at Spirituelle Society or on our website at spirituellesociety.com. Each week, through inspired teachings, soulful reflections, and supermind secrets, we explore the deeper dimensions of spiritual leadership for women and what it takes to live a powerful, purposeful, pure, and prosperous life on this planet today. Hello, everyone. We are live for our very first Spirituelle Sunday. I'm here with my dear friend, Kathy.
Nice to see everyone.
And we are just so thrilled to be welcoming you from wherever you are in the world. We felt that the timing was really important to create a community, a place to gather, a place to meet on Sunday evenings for women all over the world to be able to support each other and learn and gather and just hold space for each other in these times right now. I have found that over the last several years, mentoring women, women are seeking truth. They are seeking an opportunity to learn. They are seeking an opportunity to connect with other women. Hello, everyone who's joining. And we just thought, you know what? Let's just get started. Let's start a Sunday evening ritual for women where we can gather online and learn from each other and support each other. And hello to all of you who are joining us. And so this is a time for you. This is an opportunity. It's almost like we are building a women's church, a women's community online, a spiritual center, but it doesn't matter where you live. You don't have to leave your home. We are going to be here for you every Sunday night at 7 p.m. starting right now. So for those of you who are joining, my name is Lee Jacobs, and I just, over the last year, that something was calling me to start connecting and creating community for spiritual women, because we are all feeling such a big energy, such a transformational shift. And even if our outside world doesn't look extremely different, there's something huge going on. And a lot of women have expressed to me, but where do I go for support? What do I do? I'm feeling such a massive awakening in my soul. I'm feeling such spiritual transformation. What do I do with this energy? Who do I turn to? Who are my people? And this is why we answered the call, and we were like, you know what? We are your people, and we are going to connect you with the most beautiful, authentic, integrity-filled women from around the world. And we're creating a 45-minute time slot every Sunday night just for you, so that you don't feel alone, so that you feel guided, you feel you have spiritual direction, and that you feel so authentically supported in your own journey, your own spiritual path, because a lot of us haven't found that place to gather, that it's like, this feels like home, right? So we're creating this for you online. So it doesn't matter what country you live in, what city you live in. We would love every Sunday night with us at 7 p.m. Eastern Time to feel like your spiritual home. And as we begin this journey tonight, I just want to share my heart with you. And I just want you to know how sacredly I hold all of you, and how grateful we are that we're going to be gathering our soul family. I know Kathy has mentioned this before. This is a time where you are finding your people, you are finding your soul family. And this is where we're going to meet once a week to support you, to pour into you, to teach you, to mentor you, and also an opportunity where you can, just feel the love and the authenticity and the kindness that we're pouring into your home through the waves, through the energy waves. So I thought I would start by sharing why now. Why have we created Spirituelle Sunday right now in the world? You've probably noticed that there is a heavy energy of disorder that is lingering on the planet. And women in particular are feeling this in their body. They're expressing this, that they're feeling like a heaviness. And it's a heaviness that you can't work off at the gym. Even if you're eating really well and you're exercising, there's a feeling of heaviness that you can't shake off the same way you could several years ago by just doing your regular rituals. And the reason for that is that women in particular are feeling this kind of overburden of heaviness, of disorder, of chaos, not only at the physical level, but they're feeling it in different areas of their body, their emotional body, their mental body. There is this feeling of being pulled and weighted down. And a lot of women are not really sure what's happening. So some of them are just feeling like, who do I turn to? Like, what is going on? What is happening? What do I do with this heavy feeling? And why does my life feel so chaotic? And I remember feeling and asking myself those questions. And then I realized, well, what if it's not just my own little life? What if I'm actually feeling the heaviness of the world right now? And this disorder that is happening all around the world, we actually have to step up individually and really organize our own life and create such beautiful clarity and order and space so that we can thrive moving forward. Because if we're not creating order, we're going to have a difficult time thriving in the world. We're going to have a difficult time thriving in business, and we're going to have a difficult time feeling light, right? Mm-hmm. Several years ago, feeling light wasn't that hard for me. I would have my little rituals of juicing and going to the gym and going for a walk and having my spiritual practice. And now I really have to make my spiritual practice a part-time gig. I had to shift really my whole world to be able to understand what's happening right now. We wanted to create a time, like an hour of spiritual power for you every week to help guide you through most women are feeling this. But again, they don't know who to turn to. If they go on social media, it's just about making your business perfect, looking perfect, and nothing's feeling right. So it's time to really teach you the truth, right? Like, what are the real things I should be focusing on? And this is why we started this tonight, because what we want to teach you starting this evening is that what is needed right now for you individually as a woman is a not only connection with other women and to create a beautiful spiritual circle of like-minded women, which is what we're doing this evening, but it's to understand going back to your foundation, pouring a new foundation in your own home, your spiritual home, your emotional home, your physical home. It's like you're pouring a new foundation on your home that doesn't have cracks, that is filled with beauty, simplicity, wholeness, and order. So it's a time where we have to daily clear what isn't serving. We have to get back to simple, and we have to have a daily practice of clearing and cleansing what is no longer serving us. And this now has to be a daily practice. It can't be something we just do in the spring. We have to have a practice of every day. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, where am I feeling a little out of order? where is disorder creeping in? Where is chaos creeping in? And what do I need today? What does my soul need today to feel orderly? And so tonight, we're beginning this ritual of Sunday evenings with sharing that your work right now in your own body, in your home, in your family, in your work is what is feeling out of order for you. And if there is a stuffing in your life where there's too much stuff, there's too much emotional stuff, mental stuff, I find women are now kind of sparking out. There's so much stuffing that it's now pouring, it's seeping out of them. Their mindset can't contain all, it's like we're hemorrhaging because we have so much junk in our life that isn't important and that doesn't add value. It's not adding or serving your well-being, your wholeness, your spiritual wellness. All it's doing is cluttering up your whole world. And so we have to amp up now. We have to make it a daily practice to clear the zone, to clear our field, to clear the space. And that's what we're going to focus on tonight. So, Kathy, I can't express how grateful I am to be starting this beautiful ritual every Sunday night. Because again, you have been such a guide for me since my mid-20s. And here we are, full circle now.
Yeah.
Offering this opportunity and time slot for women all around the world.
Well, thank you for those nice words. It really is something I was listening to, just, what you're saying here to open. And I can't agree with you more about just the fact that the key points, you're saying, where do women turn to? Like, that's a tricky one. I have been mentoring and students and clients for a very long time, as you know. And what I'm seeing on a day-to-day just repeat cycle is that the ideas are there within them, the creative ideas, the inspirations, and the want, like they want to contribute, they want to do something in a world that, as you say, is so out of order, which I'll touch on in a moment. But they don't know how to pull it all together. It's like there's a lot of teachings that are spread out all over. Like, you can go on social media, you're going to find how to do this, how to do that, whether it's biohacking, whether it's, make this up, do this, read this, use your AI. There's just so much that the spirituelle, your concept of bringing women together, which is so necessary right now. It's like everything is here in one spot. Mm-hmm. So what we've done, just so the viewers have a better understanding, is we're taking the what we'll call the stable teachings of the schematic of creation, the stable teachings of life that each one of us look for in spiritual practices, whether it's from breathing to focusing to concentration to reflection to spiritual. I could go, the list go on and on and on, and we pulling it all together into one spot. And so as we're talking on Sundays, I'm going to remind everyone that collection of teachings is actually being made available now too in your membership, which they can go to and learn and practice with us several times through the month. But this night, Sunday night, we were guided. It has a ministerial side. It has a sense that this is an anchor as the meeting place. And it's funny, you joked about it being a church. Well, actually, in a roundabout way, it's a spiritual gathering which churches used to, or still in many cases, of course, but to serve as. But it's a modern day spiritual gathering. It's a universal spiritual gathering where women can come together and meet on Sundays. And what we want to talk about, especially tonight, is starting right at the get-go, is that there has to be order in our lives. The universe is an emanating orderly system. It is from the point or center of all things. It is well accepted by teachers from all walks of philosophies and beliefs that the universe is orderly. Now, what is the problem is that the universe is orderly, but when we come all the way down here where the human family is living on this earth, we're out of order. All you have to do is look at our poor Mother Earth and you'll see that she's sick. It's their systems are off. The waters are impure. The air is polluted. There's so many things. And the human health, women and their children, there's concern because they get sick so easily with things that when we were younger, well, when I was younger, they would just, we would find, yeah, all right, so you have a cold and off you go. But, there's a lot of very unhealthy people in this world right now. And it's because of the disorder. And so women who are natural healers, natural intuitive healers, and they have a very special gift, women do, they are not happy. And so they're saying, I don't like this disorder. I don't like the fact that my family's not well. The food seems to be off. Unless you can find organic, there's way too much processed food. There's too much that is going on in this world that it's artificial in so many ways, from dialogue and teachings and emotions and relations and isolations and separations and you name it. And it's people's heads are spinning. So women have been saying, what do I do? And I'm so glad that you've created a space, literally a space here that we can invite women to come in and sit with us and talk and share about how they're feeling, that they're perceiving the world. Because there's no doubt in my mind that we are all perceiving it to be out of order. Mm-hmm. And it's impacting that disorder in the environment amongst the human family is impacting us all. So we're going into our inner temple and we're trying to do a little meditate. And then we walk out and we're blasted by a disorderly world. And so what do? You have to have a strength to your order. And as you said so well, you said that it's a daily practice. You have to step into this new order for self so you will become healthy. Health and order go hand in hand.
Yeah. And I mean, we're going to repeat this several times, but order is heaven's first law. And I know for me, I remember waking up because, again, sometimes what happens is we get hooked into the busy life, the addictions, the tasks, the schedule. We're so filled with busy that we know something's off, but we don't focus on it, or we don't pause and have the aha moment. We just stay busy. I think it's because there is a fear that we're going to have to make some big decisions. But I remember for me waking up and being like, I feel in complete disorder. And what do you do with that, right? What do you do with that aha moment of, and now it's most women are feeling this. But they have to look good and show up with a smile on their face and act like they've got all their business taken care of. And sometimes when I'm working with women, I'm like, that's great that you're looking so put together in your business, but your foundation of your life should be more important.
Yes.
And so women are avoiding the foundation of life and just hooking into the trivial, what superfood should I buy? What biohack should I do? Yeah. What task at my work is going to get me more successful? But there's this lingering you know, intuitive nudge happening saying, focus on ordering your life.
Well, it's not integrated. That's the problem. You see, when you've got these energies coming down, which we can talk about cosmic energies, or we can talk about, we'll call it the change of consciousness on the planet, because humanity is changing. There's tremendous opportunity for change. But when you access these downloads, as a lot of people call them, downloads or inspirations of creativity, what they're doing is they don't know how to integrate it. They don't know how, because there's, like you say, the foundation's cracked. So ideas come in and they're just falling right out because there's no structure. There has to be both. There needs to be an internal structure, and there has to be that blending of that left brain, right brain, that two side of the equation, where the logic and the reason and the structure makes good sense and is in order with to receive that creative inspiration, so that they can be put together. So when you've got an overwhelm of ideas and have tos, it's like, oh, you have to do this, oh, you have to do that, oh, you have to do that, and everyone's like, well, okay, how do I do all this in one day? Well, you won't if you don't have the orderly structure. And it's simplicity. You said it right at the get-go. There has to be simplicity.
And this is why those that I know that have the most simple, beautiful lives are the most healthy and happy. And I remember when I lived in Costa Rica, and a lot of the families around me were from Canada, the United States, all over the world. And they said, I'm afraid to go home because I'm going to get sucked back into the tornado of disorder.
Oh, interesting.
And then when we came back, it only took a week for me to get sucked back into disorder. And you try really hard, but I think we now need to focus on strength of our fields and our bodies and structure. And like you said, really focus on, okay, well, maybe a lot of the things that I'm doing is not serving me anymore.
Right.
But I'm doing it because of habit.
That's right.
Or fear that if I let it go, something's going to crumble.
And but the truth is, you have to let things go so that you can move on and become and come into a more orderly state. Because you'll actually find that in your old paradigm, as you say, of the confusion and excess, you see what you want, but you've got to cross that line to get there, cross the threshold. You can't drag that old story into the new story. So that old story where you're used to it, well, I have to do this, still I have to do that. And the new story is saying, no, you don't, because this is who you are now. This is what how you're supposed to express yourself. But you're bogged down in that old. So people are straddling, women are straddling the old and the new. And that makes it even worse because it's overwhelming. It causes anxieties and depressions and nervousness and all sorts of issues of health and overwhelm. And then they shut down. Then they wonder why they're not really getting anywhere. You can't keep building on a broken platform. You have to move forward. And so this is interesting because with the teachings that Spirituelle has, it shows not only how to reconstruct, but build. So you're reconstructing, changing the foundation, transforming or breaking down from the old to the new, and then building. Now, when I talk about building, I'm saying the actual structure and framework has to be built out. You have to build your physical, emotional, intellectual, intuitive, creative, and masterful world and spiritual consciousness all the way along. You have to build that out. And then you're not in the old paradigm. You're not in the disorder.
I think a lot of women are hitting that door. They're getting close to the door that it's like this beautiful golden door that's welcoming them into the new paradigm. But you have to leave your baggage at the door before you walk through it. And I am finding a lot of women, they're kind of know this. They know they have to clear a lot and make some really integrity-based decisions in their life right now, but there's fear coming up. because it's like, what if I lose friends? What if my relationship breaks up? What if I need to move because I don't feel well where I live? All these fears. So it's like, I'm going to stay in my baggage world, but I
Yeah.
see that beautiful golden door and I
Yeah.
really want to live light and walk through it. But look at all this baggage. Where do I start?
And that those eyes being on the what's over across that threshold or at that golden door, your eyes being on that and becoming in moments very enlightened by those ideas and concepts that you're receiving or that you're engaging in, and knowing that you have to trust to move from one to the other can be very daunting. And I think this is where, and this is why I said that, and you and I have talked about this, there has to be a place where the women can come to here where we're gathered, and they can ask questions and they can say, that's me. I feel like that. I'm afraid to let go and take on a new identity. And we can say, well, we're here. We're here. What question do you have? Let us see if we can help you, because that's what it's all about. I had a very interesting, that you must trust your intuitive visions and your intuitive ideas and concepts and that. And what I see is a world where women are going to be bringing back into society, into the lives of them, for themselves and others, bring the actual balance back where there is let's call it a construct that originates in their inspiration, their creativity, but as it's brought down into their world in professionally or personally, that it starts to it's like a what do you want to call that? It's a reconfiguration, but it's like where the active energies aren't active on their own, where it becomes aggressive or arrogant. It's like it's an activity, it's an action that has the balance in the passive, which is the stability, which is will be the framework, where it's like pouring water into a glass. It pours nicely into the container, and there's a harmonization or a blend, so that your active and passive, some call it that positive charge, negative charge, the yin, the yang, the active and passive start to come into a more harmonization with the way it's supposed to be. And what women are going to do is they're going to be out more and more, bringing their creative ideas forward, bringing their leadership forward in with that. And they're going to be trusted, because people don't trust right now. They don't trust because of the disorder and the chaos and the destruction and the breakdown of the health of the planet and the human family. Women bring the order through this balance, this blend, this formula, I'll have to call it. It is a creative formula. It does have a mathematical precision to it, but we don't need to go into that right now. But it is an intuitive knowing that you have to give a little here, take a little back here. You have to do the adjustments, and then click. Oh, it works. It works. That's how you manifest that from the creative fiat or the higher universal directives. Is it has to be in the right blend, the right order. It has to have the active and passive components to it. And so women you watch more and more. I'm just talking to people that are listening, of course, that, don't be shy about your ideas. Bring your ideas forward, trust your ideas, and look for people like us here in this circle and those that will join as we continue to build this community, where we're going to be saying, you go, girl, or we're here to support you. We're here to make sure that you get known, because we should all be calling out other women who are trying to bring balance and order back.
And I think this is where we're at right now. I think women have spent several years either being too much in their aggressive yang or too much hiding in the yin. I know a lot of my friends, hiding in the yin.
Yeah,
And now we know that it's time to merge the two and
exactly.
really get into balance, which means we have to listen to our intuition. We have to
Yes.
write down our creative ideas and what's coming to us and what projects we want to do and where do we need more order, and making a list of
Mhm.
what do I need to do right now? What needs to go? What do I need to clear? What are the things in my life right now that my soul craves order, and make a short list, the low hanging fruits.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it is a list of, it's not so much what we need to bring in, it's what needs to go.
Yeah, exactly. And the clutter, and I know I kind of liked how you said spring, it's not just for spring. That was well said. Because we're always told, we're like, oh, spring, time to clean your house. It's spring cleaning. No, it's more often than that. We also have to do it on a much more frequent basis by in our the decluttering. But it might be a nice time to talk about, you mentioned creative energies. Do you want to talk about the energy shifts that are
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah. And I know every week sort of brings something new.
It
And
does.
yeah, so what's up for this week?
What's
What
up?
can we expect?
I love that. You know what? That reminds me. There was a lady, one of my students, many years ago. I have to go back at least. I got to go back 15 years. Anyway, what she said to me, she used to text, not text. She's actually probably wasn't a text then, was an email, and she used to say, "What's up with that?" Like she was saying, "What's up with that?" In other words, the energy's changing. What's up with that? And so I started to write these weekly spiritual energy shifts and updates, and I've never stopped. And so I'm delighted to be able to share every Sunday a little deeper meaning of what is up with the energy, certainly in the week ahead. So if we're gathering every Sunday, we can talk about what the energy is going to be for the week ahead. And so I'm going to take where we were talking, take the piece we were talking about, where I'm sure each one of us have felt a little irritated or emotionally, turned upside down because things aren't working, overwhelmed, and that. And I'm saying, okay, so there's an environmental and an internal disorder. So what you want to do this week is you want to work with excuse me, you want to work with the energy that is gifted to us right now. So we have some creative energy coming out of constellations. Well, one day we'll break it down into the deeper, but the star source and so on. But let's just say that this one, I rather like this month, this timeline, because this week we're leading right up to the full moon next Monday, which is a spectacular time for a change of your direction. So if you're planning on anything this spring that's you feel is a major shift, a major time for you to make a decision and take that step, I have to encourage you that now is the time to do it. It is now, because the creative energy that in your inspirations and your intuition, what it's saying to you is use your hands. Use your hands, writing, art, anything that you're building, projects, home, profession. Let the higher mind of your connection to your soul, let it drop down. Use your hands and be active. This is an active week. Now you might say, hey, Kath, well, how does that, like we just talked about balance, like, feminine passive, active, progressive active for male. No, you know what? I said, remember, a blend. So if you trust your intuition, you're in a passive. So you're bringing down your inspirations, which is very passive, but you have to act on them, which is now action. So we have the passive and the action working together this week as it builds up all week, especially to that full moon next Monday. Next Monday, is an incredible full moon on the planet. There's a lot of, let's say, some really old, ancient, very cosmic energies that are shuddering each one of us to stop sitting idle and procrastinating, and is prompting you to take this leap, take this step. Now, it can be a small step or a big step. It depends on what's going on in your life. I think for a lot of people, it's going to be a very major step. I think a lot of people are going to choose in major ways to change their lives. Now, for those that are still dipping their toe, that's okay. You just take the baby step, because that baby step will lead and crack the wake open, like, break open the flow. And so as this is coming in, you might say, oh yeah, but what about that order and disorder? Well, remember that the new story you're bringing down is going to take a dominant position. Your old story has to go. Mm-hmm. Oh no, right? The old story has to go for the new one to sit in. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. You and I talked about there is we're being called up, and there's a higher responsibility for us to make healthy decisions, even if they're scary.
Yeah.
But we're being asked to be sacredly responsible in our choices now.
Discerning. Remember, you're looking for the decision you're making has been brewing. It's been brewing. It's not an impulsive thing. The responsibility that's coming in with that concept that people are being inspired by in their creative drive, the responsibility, the discernment, the creativity, it's all built in. It's all built in. And the only way I can quickly explain that is because I'm pointing here. It's because the way you're expressing it from higher mind. So your new ideas, is not as new as you think. You've been groomed for it all your life. But because you're just taking that big step now, you might think it's new. But no. The universe doesn't make any mistakes. It's in a very orderly system. It's systematically groomed you since you took your first breath when you were born. And you have been grooming yourself for these shifts. And this spring, I know it might sound really far out to some people, but this spring is fantastic for starting. Now, bearing the fruit or the harvest, some of you may find that the actually biggest harvest is not until October, November, the harvest time in 6 months. But there are nice harvestings of the investment of your time and energy up like through that 6-month period. Mm-hmm. But you have to start and you have to trust.
And what I'm hearing a lot is so many women I'm talking to, they're so ready for change, and they know the timing is really special right now. And I know just the language women are using. It's like, I'm so ready to start something new, to change careers, to take my business to the next level, that energy. But I know there is still a lot of fear energy of, well, what if I fail? Or
what if I fail?
Or what if this isn't my intuition, So I think there's an energy of excitement and inspiration and creativity. But at the same time, we're surrounded by so much fear in the world right now that it's like holding us back.
And it's okay. And that fear, that environmental fear that's causing an internal reaction of fear is a disorder. That's the disorder, because the universe, as I said, does not make a mistake with you. It does not. Your soul, you are a divine being. You are from your birthright, you're inherently divine. So it doesn't make any mistakes. The creator, But what it is your environment and the disorder and the continuity of that disorder has been pulling you down and causing all these things. And that's why we need to talk. We need to talk, which is the purpose of our Sunday nights. If people want to share, if they want to write in, if they want to ask, we need to talk about those fears. Realize that they're based in a false sense of separation. There's no such thing as a separation. The order is the order is the order. And so we're going to bring that order back. We have the teachings, we have the tools. I know we can't do it all in one shot here on a Sunday night, but we want to get started and help people trust. You are absolutely right on. There is this shivering away of the, can I do it? Can I do it? And the answer is yes. So that's why people want, what I say with people, I say, let's open it up. Let's open it up, lay it out on the table. You get an idea, you get a creative urge and inspiration, put it on the table, sort it all, like put it out on the table so the order can have a chance now to return. And dialogue, the positive and negatives. Go ahead, the positive and negatives, yes.
And I think we're hitting like a spiritual nodal point right now. And for women especially, we want to be the cheerleaders because I know there's so much fear right now in the world that if we're not rested or if we're not taking care of ourselves, we're not doing good soul care, that fear can kind of take over, almost like an entity.
Yeah.
And then keep us in freeze where we're like, oh, well, I'm not feeling inspired or happy or peaceful. I'm feeling full of anxiety, but I'm stuck. I'm too afraid to try something new. And so we want to be the advocates for you that to just go where the energy feels right and trust your intuition and know that this is such a very sacred time for you, that your soul is ready to explode into the planet, into physical form, and make this world a better place. And we need women right now to step into their creative power and to trust that our soul, like you said, our soul path is not a mistake. Nope. We're being called to awaken right now and to step into our spiritual power because it's time. And we can't let the external world fear us into a freeze mode.
Exactly. But that's where the healing again comes in. The healing. There's so much energy that is present, especially, and it's not like it just started and is building this week. Like obviously we're talking about gains that have been made over a period of time, but it's accelerating. It's calling women to their place, to their greater purpose. And it's calling, and we have to answer that call, as the saying goes. You have to answer the call. And when you answer the call, you're not being judged or graded on like how fast or how much you're putting in. It's just answer. Just answer. Can you imagine the phone ringing from your soul and you just say hello? Just say hello. And when you say hello, let the soul do some of that work, which is why if we want to do a little 2-minute meditation, I can demonstrate what I mean when I say, just answer the phone, unless, well, of course, I'm sure you'd like to add something else right now, though, if you wish.
Yeah. And another reason why I think a weekly conversation is because a lot of women feel like I lost the cable to my soul. Yeah. And there's this grief. There's this, I feel like I said this on our podcast, I feel like a transactional bot. I got lost in the transactional outside world. And now all I see in social media and online is how to folk overly obsessed with the physical body, with making money, with the pursuit of being a transactional bot instead of a spiritual woman. And so when we're talking about the soul is trying to get your attention right now, and we want to join back up that cable to the soul. And this is our work as women, as a collective together. We need to reconnect the wires.
Well, yeah. Well, mankind. Let's go back to that just briefly. That the truth that the universe is an orderly system that's all connected, and we have uh, stepped out of that order through our long process of thinking incorrectly and choosing unwisely. And so to reconnect or to tether back up or to become, once again, in alignment with that requires you to first of all know, excuse me, to know that it actually exists, like that order exists, the connections exist, they always have and they always will. The creation is stable. Creation is very stable. We are unstable. So when you say we step into fear or we step into this disconnect, that's where it gets scary, because then that's when we start to feel the anxiousness, the depression, the confusion, the lack of clarity, because we have believed for so long that we don't have that connection. That connection has always been right there. If you just say hello to yourself, connect with it, and it very quickly will start to, just as much as you can handle, it's going to start to pull you into those threads again. Those threads are going to connect. They're going to meld or weld back together. They're going to lift you up. And then you get that greater clarity coming into your life. And you're like, wow, where was I? I was out wandering out here.
I remember saying that when it's like,
yes,
where did I go? But I think we all have seasons like that. And
that's right.
And it's actually quite a wild ride when you wake up to I lost connection with my soul. But we are in a world that pulls us out of connection with our soul.
Easily.
And so easily. So we really have to work. We have to effort a little bit in the beginning to get ourselves back on the right path.
And then it just goes.
Yeah. And that's why for tonight, just to keep it really simple, where are the low-hanging fruits of disorder that you can start to clear? And then as you start doing that, you're actually going to get very inspired every day to clear something that is, because again, you hold it so, your order so sacred that when you start getting a taste of it, you hold it so sacred that you don't let things into your world. Your soul's going to, nope. That did not come in. And you're going to have boundaries. You're going to have boundaries. You're going to say no without feeling guilty. You're going to honor people. But even the way you speak, you won't be able to be in an environment of gossip or judging other women or pulling women down. That energy to your soul will not be able to be in that energy space, because order is so precious to you. And that's where we want to move all of us together, is this space of grace and almost like holiness, where we protect our life and our field, and our soul is like in charge. And it cannot be in a position of judging other women or, again, like gossiping. We're way beyond that.
Yeah, we're better than that.
We're so much better. Yeah. And so we wanted to just start the conversation tonight. But again, every Sunday here at the same time, we are going to gather and teach and answer questions and hold space for you. And we would like to end every Sunday with a short meditation and healing that Kathy will be just to close our evening, or for some of you, it might be morning, but to close our spiritual hour of power in such a beautiful light with so much grace. And if any of you are interested in having some energy from us poured into you and spiritual direction throughout the week, we do have a podcast. You just have to go to Spirituelle Society. It's on all platforms. And we offer courses and mentorship and spiritual direction. And if you're interested in ongoing daily support, you can join us at spirituellesociety.com. And we're going to be here every single Sunday just for you. So we'll be answering questions, supporting your journey. And again, we just want you to know that this is full on, pure, non-judgment, only beautiful heart energy poured into you. And we just want you to know how deeply supported you are, how much we see you and honor you. And wherever you are in the world, we just feel so blessed to be connected with you. And to wrap up our very first event this evening, I would love to just also be part of this as a participant, Kathy, for our closure,
Absolutely.
our 2-minute closure. So I am just here.
Well, you know what? I think that's beautiful. And so, yeah, what we'll do is every Sunday we'll close just with 2 or 3 minutes. I won't go into an extensive deep meditation. We do a lot of those deeper meditations in our Spirituelle Society membership time. But every Sunday we're going to gather, and I hope that as we grow, I'd also like to see us take those 2 to 3 minutes and put that out into Mother Earth as well. Extend it to all the women around the world and to Mother Earth. Right now, let us start with just yourselves. So all I would ask that each one of you just take a moment and close your eyes. And just start with some nice deep breaths in. Use your diaphragm breathing if you can. Breathe through the nose if you can, but breathe in whatever way is comfortable for you. I'm going to start by just visualizing or sensing the light of your soul as the most beautiful light emanation of white light above your head. And every time that you breathe in, you're drawing a connection. You're drawing that life force of your soul inside of you. And remember that every time you exhale, that beautiful soul's light is cascading down and within you, all the way through your body, all the way down to your legs and feet, and into your hands. And you just realize this with the breath, because that soul is your soul. And when you look around you now in this beautiful setting that we create together here in an inner temple of healing and wisdom for women joining, maybe you could visualize for yourself tonight that in front of you is the most beautiful lantern of light. Whatever you wish that lantern to look like, let it come to your mind sitting right in front of you. And it's warm and it's emanating beauty and the sacred light from the east. And behind you is another lantern, another beautiful, warm lantern of light. And it is emanating its beauty and its light behind you in the west. And breathing. And now to your right, another lantern. And this beautiful lantern is also emanating its light. And that would be to the south. Beautiful fire element that ignites change in your life, beautiful changes. And all the time, your soul's light, bright above your head and pouring through you as you're breathing. And finally, to your left, to the north and the earth element, another lantern, another beautiful lantern. So you have 4 balanced lanterns of light in and around you. With the air element of mind to the east in front of you, through to the waters of creation in the west behind you, to both the earth on your left and the fire on your right. You bring yourself balance from the soul, and you can carry this with you into the night or into your day, wherever you are on the planet at this time. Thank you, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back.
Thank you.
And I hope that's of help to you, a little balancing energy with your soul's light. And I think we are. Is there anything further, Lee, before we say goodbye to our guests?
No, I just want to thank all of you for joining our very first SoulCast. And I would like to invite you to join us again next Sunday at the same time on most social media platforms, on our YouTube channel. And throughout the week, if you would like to just really focus on your order, we have talked about this several times on our podcast at Spirituelle Society, but we would love the week ahead that you really remember that this week is about listening to intuition, acting on it, using our hands to write poetry, to journal, to work on that book, to just create what you are guided to create in the physical world so that the energy doesn't get clogged in the body.
That's right.
Energy doesn't get blocked in the body. It needs to be brought out into the physical realm as well. So we will be thinking of you this week and sending all of our love. And we look forward to connecting with you again next Sunday at Spirituelle Sundays. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.